NFC South, I think Atlanta's going to run away with it. I think Atlanta's going to win potentially 12 to 13 games. I really do. I really like Atlanta. I say that being lighter in the wallet my entire adult life on Falcons games. Bucs are good, not as good as Atlanta. Panthers are going to be fun to watch. Much better at wide receiver. Still third. Saints will be a mess. I think they're the first team to fire their coach. And in the NFC...
Okay, so the Falcons. I absolutely think the Falcons run away with this division, and it makes Bucs fans so angry. And they keep calling me a hater, a Baker hater, this, that. I'm still getting comments on a video that I made. I mean, I don't even know at this point, a couple months ago. People are still like ripping me for it. They really think Baker Mayfield is just the king. Someone tried to argue that the Bucs are better at every position than the Green Bay Packers, and that Baker Mayfield is a better quarterback than Jordan Love, which I just the delusion. I don't even know what to say to that, quite frankly. I mean, it was difficult for me to comprehend how anyone could actually genuinely believe that. I don't know why people are so obsessed with Baker Mayfield that they overinflate what he can and can't do, and they keep talking about, oh, he had a perfect game in Lambeau, and it's like, okay, that's great, like that is great. I'm not saying that that Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers are trash or garbage, are the worst team ever. I also have them too. I'm not saying that they're trash. I just think that the Falcons are better than them, and I think that the success that the Bucs had last season is completely overinflated. I mean, they really think that team is so much better than what they really are. And the truth is that the Falcons, I think, are going to be significantly better. For the first time in years, the Falcons have a real, legitimate quarterback in Kirk Cousins, who without a shadow of a doubt knows how to actually run an offense. The Falcons have not had that. Okay? They also have a great new offensive coordinator who I think will have fantastic success. I think a lot of people will be talking about him this year, not unlike how they were talking about Bobby Slowick, not unlike how they were talking about Ben Johnson and Shane Steichen. Like, I'm not saying that he's going to be like the next big thing and that people are going to, that he's going to be considered this genius, but he's going to be more than competent. He's going to get that offense going. And a dream come true for an offensive coordinator is to have a quarterback who you don't have to teach, who you don't have to constantly teach and educate on how to play the game of football, on how to be an NFL quarterback. That is the massive luxury that the Falcons have by going out and getting Kirk Cousins. It's that straightforward. A lot of times we see these young coordinators being connected to another young quarterback who you have to not only execute the offense and run the offense, but you're also like teaching them like what the NFL is, what they can and can't get away with in the NFL. You don't have to do that with Kirk Cousins. He's been there and he's had a lot of success. There's a lot of slander on Kirk Cousins. The truth is he hasn't had the luxury of being with a top coach on a top team for years to come. He hasn't. He's played for coaches that have been fired and have never seen an NFL team again. He's played for hard-nosed defensive head coaches, which we know in the modern NFL is brutal. It's very brutal. Look at Tua Tagovailoa. It's just not the recipe for success anymore. So Kirk Cousins now teaming up with a great, bright, young offensive coordinator, I think he's going to have some great success. And I think that the Falcons defense will be better as well. So to me, when you put those pieces together, it's just very clear to me. Because considering what the Falcons have been able to do, considering they've had no quarterback, I think it's actually kind of impressive. I mean, you could clearly look at the Falcons as being like a one-win team. Before, obviously, I'm saying when they got the quarterbacks. And even if Kirk Cousins goes down, even if he ends up not making a full recovery, Penix has now played enough as well where he shouldn't be a deer in headlights quarterback. I think it'll be a much smoother transition for Kirk Cousins. And so I think Kirk Cousins will be playing this entire season. And I think he will have a tremendous amount of success. But on the off chance that he doesn't, I don't think you're going to get a deer in headlights situation with Penix where it's just like, oh my God, it's looking like Zach Wilson out there. Like, what the heck am I looking at right now? I think it'll be a much smoother transition where you'll also be able to have success. So either way, I got the Falcons, no matter who their quarterback is, within reason of those two quarterbacks, of Penix and Kirk Cousins. And yeah, the Panthers and the Saints, right? I think the Panthers will be better. And listen, I think the Saints are going to be 4, but I don't think the Saints are just going to... I don't think the Saints are necessarily just going to be like the biggest disaster, right? Like, I don't think they're going to replace what the Panthers were last year necessarily, in terms of just like, oh my God, this team's a joke. But it does seem hard for me to see what the Saints can do consistently, and can they consistently be competitive. I think the Bucs, the Panthers, and Saints will kind of battle it out amongst each other, but I think it'll just be clear that the Falcons are head and shoulders above the Bucs, Panthers, and the Saints. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Who do you think is going to win the NFC South? The Falcons, Bucs, Panthers, or the Saints? And depending on who wins this division, do you think any of the other 3 teams can make the wild card round, like the Bucs or the Falcons? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.